That's a lot of sketchbooks.
Alright, decided to make one of those sketchbook tours you see around art YouTube, but I wanted to make the ultimate sketchbook tour. So, this covers from as far back as I salvage. There are some older works and newer works that weren't in the stack, but I think this is a pretty good gauge of my artistic journey, to say the least. The first one is probably from when I was about 10, so it's obviously very rough. If there are any decent sketches in there, it's probably from my art teacher at the time. Anyway, just a kid having fun drawing, not this bitter adult I've become, so it's always nice to look back to when I still had hope. You can see a little bit more of this in the comics video I did on drawing comics. So anyway, this book that's on screen right now is a rough concept for an art book I put together years ago. I used the Amazon print-on-demand service to get the prototype, and it's alright. I might revisit the idea of an art book in the future. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. So you're going to see some repeats in the future sketchbooks, but, it's the originals. And then another baby sketchbook, maybe like 11 or 12, I don't know. Just lots of poorly drawn comics with smudgy pencil and scratchy line work. It's always a good thing to look back and see how far your skills have evolved, if they evolved at all. For me, maybe it was only just a little bit. So some of this stuff I should really censor, but the anatomy studies, if you will. But if I get demonetized, I get demonetized, whatever. There's just too much to censor. Why is it only female anatomy? You know why. But yeah, eventually I started developing into a more surrealist style, lots of gross creatures and weird mashup concepts. Pen and ink eventually became my go-to, but now I work mostly digitally. It's more of a matter of convenience. I still enjoy pen and ink sketching from time to time, but working on comics, I can't not work on them digitally. It's one of those things where if I make one tiny mistake, the whole thing's ruined. But with digital, you can always go back. You never know if your files are going to get corrupted or anything, but I guess that's a trade-off. With pen and ink, the pieces just never go away, It's like they're there unless you lose them or whatever. Or if somebody steals them, I guess, but why would anybody steal them? Anyway, eventually I went to school for graphic design and had to get sketchbooks and take advanced drawing classes, so that's around when I started to take my art really seriously, and yeah, I think some of these drawings from then are still good, but sometimes I'm a little embarrassed by some. I don't know, not every drawing's going to be a good one. Lots of bad and half-finished sketches in a lot of these sketchbooks. But that's what sketchbooks are for. Sketching. It's in the name. Right? Anyway, as for subject matter, lots of creatures and women. Sometimes women creatures. Some things never change. I always like to emphasize the weirdness factor. Try to make something that will make people stare. If you can make something that makes people stop scrolling for more than 5 seconds, you're doing something right. And sometimes that, what the fuck factor plays into it. Or you can draw a character with absurd proportions. That works too. Put them both together, you might be onto something. A look back is nice to inspire yourself. Sometimes the imagination can run dry and consuming art from outside might spark something. Actually, for instance, I recently finished Persona 5 Royal. Great game, legendary soundtrack, cool mechanics, way too long. Way too long. If you got to the true final boss like I did, it's even longer, Damn, it was long. like even by JRPG standards. But anyway, the graphic design of the menus was so damn stylish. Like, I really want to try to incorporate a bit of that into my work with all the flashy type of graphic design. Side note, Takamiya's best girl and I will hear no arguments. That aside, back to looking back at my old stuff. You can revisit old concepts and create new art out of it, like I did in the video. I'm going to link in the card right now and at the end of this video, that you should definitely go watch if you haven't already. You can be your own biggest inspiration if you know what to pull from your past self, you know? Anyway, I feel like I'm kind of rambling here, even though I'm writing a script. I've become a scripted channel, you know, occasional ad-libs here and there. And to be honest, I really should have been using scripts from the start. It makes the entire video making process way easier. Although I'll admit, writing scripts is the least fun part of making videos, but that's a little aside for you. So why don't you guys go ahead and tell me what sketch is your favorite in the comments below and why. Also, do you keep a sketchbook, or are you perhaps strictly digital? Or are you one of those loose papers only type? I don't know. That's a little weird, but I mean, some people do that. I do recommend sketching to everyone, but I always find it interesting to see people's thought process and how they keep their sketches. I have more recent sketchbooks somewhere, but I don't remember exactly where, so maybe there will be a part 2 at some point. I don't know. But yeah, this has been a fun look back, and now I have a video I can refer to with my sketches instead of having to rummage through a ton of books. You know, that's pretty convenient. Anyway, before I wrap this one up, there's a Discord server now just for chatting and sharing art, asking for critiques and all that. So check that out. I'll link it in the pinned comment. And a question for you. Would you guys like me to do an art roasting style video? I'll add a separate tab on the Discord for that if you do. I don't know. It might be fun. Just let me know. I'll try to offer actually useful critiques. Just a thought. I don't know. Anyway, check out the comic. Check out the store. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good YouTube stuff. You know how it goes. And one more thing before I go. Thank you for watching this video. See ya.